All right, good morning. I went to I went to go hit the start button and started coughing. I was like, "Oh God, what is this?" Animated emotes can be just. I don't know why I would want to do that. Good morning, Neuro. Thank you for posting that. I was updating Discord. I was like, "Oh crap!" I was like, "I hope it's posted." And like, I was updating, it didn't show there was any updates. I was like, "Man, he's sleeping again." It's like, "Oh no, he's there." All right, welcome to Monday morning. Hope everybody had a good Father's Day. I went and worked out with a bunch of guys yesterday morning for some lacrosse stuff, and definitely can feel it today. I'm like, wow, this muscle hurts and that muscle hurts. I'm like, man, this I haven't hurt like this for a while. Um, but it's weird. So I don't know if it was just like the sweat in my eyes yesterday, but like I was like, why? Why is my vision like blurred? Like, am I dying? Like, I don't smell toast or anything. Like, I'm not having a stroke. I don't think. And I like came and then like I realized like I took like a nap, and when I woke up, there was like all this like I don't know. It was like dusty sand. I guess it was basically salt, right? So I was sweating, and I guess the salt was in my eyes. So I was like, "All right, this makes a lot of sense." And like I never have like any like crust on my eyes, but it was so funny this morning. I was like, "My God, what's wrong with me?" Um, but yeah, it was like 100% humidity. Just I was just like drenched in sweat. It was like unbelievable. And then today I'm like, "Oh God, I'm so slow." So like all morning I've been like, "All right, start on time, go do this." So it's been rough. Again, it was a lot of fun. Great Father's Day. Hope everybody had a good time. If you guys saw the post too, I had a gift certificate to Outback Steakhouse, and I'm like, all right, it's been a long time since we've gone out. I'll go to Outback, right? And I was like, all right, I'll get the prime rib. I don't really make prime rib at home. I was like, I'll get it. Prime rib's good. I was like, my God, this is so tough. I couldn't believe it. I was like, all right, I'm totally ruined. The sous vide has totally ruined it for me now. So maybe I'll save getting steaks now to like the best steakhouses, maybe where you're getting those like half a year dry aged or something like that. But yeah, totally ruined now on Outback. I am now officially a steak snob. Didn't want to go there, but it is what it is. Yeah, Eki, it's definitely old age. But yeah, Eki, it was the weirdest sensation. I was like, why is my blur? I like, why is my vision blurred? And then I woke up. I'm like, what the hell is all this coming out of my eye? My wife's like, yeah, it's probably the salt. You know, too much saline because you're sweating. It was rough. I had to keep pulling my helmet off to pull like the. It was crazy. Yeah, new experience. So, but yeah, totally ruined. Ernest, I'm blaming you for it. So it's gonna have to be like Morton's or something like that only, like super high end steaks from now on if I go out. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'll take the salmon. Anyway, as far as this morning, I would say the only movement we really had is basically, I mean, the pound is cruising pretty well, up 91 and 106. Dollar CAD you can see is down, and I would say dollars. Yeah, I mean, dollar is definitely weaker from where it is. You're seeing things up against. I mean, dollar yen obviously up a bit. Dollar Swiss down just slightly. Um, Aussie dollar, is up a bit. Dollar CAD down big, but I think again. A little bit of that is CAD strength coming back from last week, and again we're seeing pound strength. I would say is probably the biggest. But it's Monday. This is something that we've seen again and again and again and again. Um, how many weeks in a row have we seen, come in and then kind of reverse early? So today, really, there's nothing. ECB president speaking in 45 minutes. Or I guess it's not even 40 anymore. It's 35 minutes. Williams is speaking later for the U.S., and that's the only U.S. data we have. But I don't know if you guys saw it or not. He is not. It says FOMC voting member in these, 2018, 2019, 2020. I don't know if that means he's not assigned for this year, or if he just hasn't voted yet. I don't keep up with it that much. I know he's not one of the bigger ones though. So yeah. So in reality, this is what it kind of looks like for today. Nothing. So we'll probably get some European movement. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some retraces in that one. Tomorrow morning, same thing. Nothing even in the European session. We do have, Fed Chair Powell speaking. He's testifying, and again, whenever you do the testimony, again, it's later in the afternoon tomorrow. You know, he's testifying about the Fed's emergency lending programs and current policies. You know, is it really changing policy? No, but will he get some funky questions? Probably, right? Whenever senators are like, okay, can we ask questions? You know what? It's really to kind of like empower their base and make them seem more more in control. So, I would expect we probably get something. And just because there's really a lack of anything else out there, we may get some movement tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow there will not be the regular kind of full breakdown tomorrow. There'll be the mini session in the morning, and then at 2 o'clock, I have it's basically a parabolic retracement talk for the most part. Todd wanted me to do that one. And then I guess Chris Vecchio was doing news afterwards. I was like, I would have done the news. I could have handled the news one. But I'm doing it's going to be like a minor parabolic retracement one. It's not necessarily a new deck. No, there'll be some new information obviously as things change. We'll look at like some of the current charts, but yeah, so it'll be the parabolic retracement thing tomorrow. So we won't have the full breakdown. Besides that, that's really it. I mean, there's really not a whole lot in here. We really just need to jump over into charts. News wise, again, we'll cover that. I mentioned it earlier. Two big things. One, this was an interesting headline that came across a little while ago, and it could be why Canada is kind of the dollar CAD is kind of spiking a little bit. They're saying they're not going to open the border until 75% are fully vaccinated, which I mean, it's kind of crazy that they're saying that. When you break the article down, and again, because my wife's Canadian and her family's there, and like with the baby, we're trying to figure this out. They're only where is it in here? They're only 1/5 right now is fully vaccinated. Like her parents, who are both older, aren't even expecting to get their second notice until the fall, right? Kind of crazy. Her grandmother, who's late 80s, I guess, doesn't even have her second one yet. I think she gets her second one next month or something like that. And she's had it for a couple months. So it's kind of crazy that this is still, Canada's like, no, 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 no. But again, it's kind of one of those things. Trudeau's government has approved the travel exemption for hockey teams. So if you're on the hockey team, you can go, but anybody else, no, right? Because it's the final round of championship playoffs. So it just goes to show you that you know the rules exist except for the elite, and yeah. So yeah, there's that, and then obviously this. I think we'll hear more about this today. And not necessarily surprised. The president-elect in Iran, if you guys didn't see it, basically was like, yeah, U.S. needs to remove all these oppressive sanctions, but we're not we're not going back on the missile program. Sorry, non-negotiable. I think it's gonna be very interesting how they play this. Reason why I say that is because I feel like many nations are testing Biden and what Biden will actually do. I don't believe they tested Trump the same way. I feel that they thought that Trump would pull the trigger much faster than Biden will. We'll see. Todd was like, "Oh no, Israel, go and do it if it's serious." I'm like, "No, I think Israel at this point has been pretty much denuded with all the problems that they have locally. They can't. They're not going to do a war on multiple fronts like that. Um, Not now, right? I think Iraq would step in first. Saudi Arabia may step in first. There's plenty of people that would step in. These, ballistic missiles for them are not just going to Israel. They're going much, much farther than that. And I think Israel's got their hands full. So it's something that we need to watch out for this week as there's more headlines back and forth. I highly doubt Biden's going to make a Twitter post on it or anything like that. But yeah, I love this. Mike Pompeo. We left a lot of leverage for Biden to put pressure on Iran. So we'll kind of see. I don't know. Biden's like, we could do. The old motto that like walk softly and carry a big stick. Um, I don't know. I feel like all the talk of like, oh, we could do much worse. We could do much worse, but then never doing anything worse. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's going back to what we had before with kind of the weakness here. So we'll see, but we'll see how much more emboldened they get. I don't know. I feel like Iran's much farther ahead. If they're being this bold and that like, hey, it's non-negotiable, I feel like they're not at the beginning workings. I feel like they're definitely closer to the end. So it could be a little bit of a Middle Eastern shift. It could be a play for oil later in the week. We'll see. Not too much standing there right now. All right. Um, what do we got here? Big change like that get farm. Wait, what? Oh, get farm raised salmon and they die. Their fish the right color. Yeah, Sean, but I'd much rather have dyed salmon that taste good than a shoe leather ribeye or a shoe leather prime rib. Typically prime rib is what? Like really soft and like juicy. Yeah, it was like I ordered it medium rare and I was like, this is more like on the well side and even my kid, right? Even Reese, who's like not like the most culinary, you know, even he was like, this is really rough or this is really a tough. I was like, yeah. He's like, I like sous vide better. I was like, oh, that's my kid. He likes it. All right, so you can see dollar index is pulling back down a little bit. I wonder if buyers are going to step in. You guys can see it right here. I mean, obviously not tradable, but it's coming down to that level where we could see that reversal. And U.S. traders are just stepping in. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a little bit of a slow, and then again, maybe 10:30 bounce. We'll see that profit taking in the dollar, the pound dollar, and have it roll back down. But it's getting close. And again, VIX is way down. VIX is in the overnight had kind of a big shoot. Considering we had all the Iranian information, the fact that this dropped that low, kind of surprising. So, we'll see. And now we have mixed. NQ looks like it's farther. YM is continuing to go higher. I'm kind of surprised that YM is going up. But yeah, like I said, we got that break there. So let's just run through everything in order. Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar after last week really dropped, and we talked about that coming down. You can see on the 4-hour curve, we're kind of smack in the middle, and it really hasn't done much. I mean, here's 9 o'clock on Friday, and we're literally 15 pips higher. I wouldn't say this one has a whole lot of direction going on. I mean, it had some decent movement in the overnight. You had this kind of pop up and push back down again. Really, I mean, to put new levels on it right now, I mean, we could draw a level and say, all right, we got a level sitting right there, right? We had some decent basing and a decent push, and it tested it once, and really, that's kind of the first, that's kind of like the first potential area that I'd like to the top side. Wasn't really a big fan of this one based off of what we saw, and there's that little hiccup here. So, we have one there. Is it ideal? No, not really. It's kind of in the middle. It spent a lot of time there. It was over the weekend. I'm really looking for some type of. I almost feel like we need a news release for this one, just because there's just not. I just feel like there's a lot missing from it, as far as movement goes. Right. Hold on. My phone just went. All right, there we go. Sorry, I was getting a weird message. I almost want a news release just so we can get something clean, so we can get a decent level again. Because this is just very, very choppy. And a Monday with no news, I just don't see a whole lot coming in here. So, if you guys are looking for that level, it should be easy to find. But it's sitting here approximately around 75.48. I would say probably a short, but again, I would like to coincide that with either Australian news, a UK Open, or a US Open. I think it's going to have to be one of the session openers or a bit of news to get this one to roll. Um, you know, just for confirmation. And again, it may be a slow week. I mean, we're at the end of June. I know it's for me, my kids, it's their first week out. Which, by the way, we will be having chart school Thursday and Friday this week. Because with my kids fully out, I have the coverage for the little one. So we're good. So that's it. Aussie yen, kind of the same thing. The chart looks very, very similar. It kind of has that same level of basing, and it's okay. I don't love it. It's kind of sitting in this level right here. It's all right. I mean, it didn't even touch on that one, so it's kind of one of those ones. It's all right, but I kind of want the same thing. I would say right now, I'm more willing to take something along kind of this area here and go long from it, just based off the fact that we had the basing and the pullback, and again, kind of the confirmation of a new trend. Um, and really on this one, that's the only level. We got a little, even with the indicator, like I said, I like to have most of my analysis I do is more free-handed over here, but I still do have I still use MT4 because I like it as a backup to find hidden levels that I don't necessarily pull from. What I found is if I use just the indicator, I only take the indicator-based levels. When I don't, I find other levels and I find more opportunity. And then I kind of, compare notes just to, like I said, it has an algorithm in there that I don't have in my brain. And I love the algorithm. Unfortunately, even on this, there's even with the indicator, there's really nothing here. It's got this bottom zone, and again, I love it because of the base. The indicator is saying there's our zone, which again is a little bit small. I would say probably take it off of there. That's where the true basing is. But we're kind of wedged in, right? And then besides that, there's nothing until we get way back up top. So same situation. I would like some blockbuster news for the Australian currency just so we can get some movement. I can get a decent level to get into. But again, it's going to be a little bit slower in July or June and July. We have some data coming up tomorrow, which hopefully provides some momentum that we need. Now, Euro pound. So Euro pound has been kind of back and forth. And again, we were looking for this to pump over. And it did. It actually came up to that level, came all the way back down, came all the way back up again. Again, this is like a very, very fast. Let's see, what was this? This was a 45 pip down and 45 pip right back up again. It was very, very quick. And then all it was is it created its own parabolic retracement. It drove down and came back up, and now it's kind of pushing back down again. I do think it comes back down to the 85.40 level. It's been there close and been front run. And again, we may want to kind of adjust this just slightly ahead next time and do something along those lines. Again, the ideal zone is coming into the 85.40. If we get something close on a call spread or something, we may want to kind of rotate that across. But I do see it coming back down again. It's not a huge move to the downside. It's only about 25 pips before we get back down there. I am more on the, again, you guys know that I'm definitely more on the train. I'm looking for opportunities to short. And again, this was a pretty easy kind of spike down and then take this, kind of reversal back to the downside, right? Whenever you crash that much, again, it's kind of an easy opportunity, right? Kind of an easy opportunity. But yeah, I short euro pound for the rest of today. Look for some basing here, and then again, we do have some European news tomorrow. But I would say where the European Open is, let's see, it's putting it right. I guess that's later today. Where is it? Right there. Right, that's kind of where I'm looking for this to pop down to. What do we have later? Hot cases. No, I'm not really worried about those. Yeah, I'd be looking for this one to pop and then look for a long off of this level. Right. And again, it may be the lower one, but I think the idea for this one is European session open. We can check it too, see if there's any call spreads or anything sitting down there a little bit um, later on tonight. But today, I would just say, maintain short on that one. Euro yen, again, driving up. We're in a level right now. You guys can see that we have more or less a level basing. It's not clean. It's hit it a few times, but had decent movement out of it. We're coming in. Whether or not it does it here or not, we'll see. This one has a couple smaller levels. I think this is a decent level here. I'd probably be willing to take that one short if we can continue to drive higher. Not worried about this. Let's see how much we got in here. That's about 70. That could be interesting. We have that news. Was it tomorrow? Hmm. Can we pop it here? Okay, there could be. So again, this is testimony virtual hearing, which I don't really care about, but it's Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee. So there will be some pointed questions in here. Um, this could be an interesting one. Let me see. Man, that's 90. That's a bit far though. Hmm. I'd say right now, let's see, where is that at? 33. He speaks in 20 minutes. Hmm. I'm wondering if we can get a decent kind of long opportunity out of this, right? Something along these lines here. And again, that's a 1 to 4.5. The 1 to 3 is only sitting right there, right? Let me open up Nadex real quick. I'm curious to see how much premium is jacked into this. All right. I would want to use the 10. Or let me see call spreads. Let me see. Euro yen. I don't have prices, but I can see the the actual spreads. So there is a 131.30. Hmm. So there will be a 131 call spread 10 to 12 that's coming out. Right now the indicative is 130. I'm sorry, 131.31. So it's kind of one pip in. There may be some opportunity. Like I said, it probably will have the power to kind of go higher. I would expect there's be some decent news. Everybody else has had decent news about tapering and things like that. I think that could give this a punch through. It has had a very big rally up. Um, It is in that zone. If this was up here, this was a fresh zone, I'd be looking to go this one short. But I feel like the fact that this has been tagged this many times, it's not going to have the ability to hold this one up. I'll just see what the risk is in a couple minutes and see where that one pops out. Let me check binaries real quick. Here again. We'll have to check this one in 5 minutes. We'll come back to this one. I think there may be an opportunity in this one in euro yen. It has had a bunch of movement since the open. I mean, we've been, here up. Let's see. Make sure we're not out of a range. Ooh, it's 87. Ugh, man, it's. mm, It is definitely lining up for more of a short than it is a long. Only thing that's keeping me from just taking the short is the fact that we've tagged this area 3 times already. Mm, And it's going to float right around though too. Yeah, we'll come back to this one in a couple minutes. All right, euro dollar. You can see euro dollar is not doing as much. Now, euro dollar is also set up more in a short area. Again, I'd say that this is probably a level that is decent. And again, it's coming right after that news. I'm trying to think. One thing to talk about is not going to, again, they could definitely be weak. If they give us the same type of kind of drama about how, we're going to see inflation, but it's all going to be transitory. Like if they're using the same playbook from the Fed last month, I do feel that will provide a short. Um, that's decent, but I hate that pushed it all the way to the brink. Um, what we got here? Let me see. It's about 12. We got 60 in their direction. Man, this one makes me want to go short too. I would say on any type of a spike, we are obviously going short up here. We definitely got a short there on a retracement. Why can't that be a fresh level? Yeah, I mean, right now on a technical basis, this is lining up more short than it is long. We'll come back in 3 on and check this one out. All right, let's go pound yen. So pound yen is rallying up. We had that really big spike last week that kind of snagged that one level we had talked about. Right now, there's not much we can do for it. Obviously we have to, make note of the basing level right here. And again, that's more of, could you consider it a long? Sure, you could. It's kind of in the middle of the range though. It's not necessarily at an extreme, but we don't have anything higher. So I would say pound yen today is also an up for me. It's got about 56 more pips. Will it cover all of it? I don't know, but I think this has the ability to continue to run higher, especially based off of what the yen is doing thus far and the weakness we've seen with it. I don't know that will change either. I am kind of curious. Once I get a kind of a reversal here, where if it's this level or it's the one sitting right above it, I'm good with either one of those two. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a shorter time frame curve level. We had the other one here last week. And again, we used it. We broke through it. We took a bounce off that buy level and then came back up and used that as our additional short and it ended up hitting twice. So this needs to be readjusted. I mean, I could do it, but again, it's kind of where do I pick the top and bottom from? I mean, I could do, I could pull it here, but again, this is almost, we're almost dealing with larger kind of time frame levels here. And again, that took a bounce twice. Let's remove that. I don't need that anymore. I don't need this one. I'll adjust it a bit higher. And again, you can see the 4-hour one is sitting over here. So I, I would say once we have a turn, we can put a smaller intraday level in there, something that's a little bit kind of more defined. But right now, we're going to have to use this. I don't want to move that. Lock that in there. As far as these two, I'm going to take those off to clean the chart for Monday. We can keep that up top. I'm not going to worry about that one. I'm going to talk about that being our next level up top. This is probably where we'll have some seller. We may hit here, pull back, and then come up. But I would say that depending on the time of day, short there. Um, I don't really want to put that in. Whoops. This, I'm good for a long there. I'm good for a long there. I'm probably okay for a short there. Mm, Probably good for a short there. But we'll see what time we hit. It's probably not going to be a today thing. I mean, that's another 90 pips. There'd have to be a lot of pound news for that one to go higher. But we'll see. All right, let me go back. It is now 10 o'clock. I have prices on those two. All right, see, it is starting to set up on that one. That's what I was worried about. All right, so let me see here. So go back to the call spreads. We'll go to your euro yen first. Euro yen 10 to 12. All right, so if you like this for a short, right now we have about $10 worth of risk on this one. Um, Oops, not that. Let's see. So our break-even point on this one would be. I'm gonna change this around. Is it price? Note. Let's see. We're 29. Be at 21. All right. There's that side. And let's see. Top side. Oh, yep, they still got it for 10. It's $10. Let's see at 41. Right there. All right. So right there are your 2 hour kind of break even points right now for long and short. Um, I would expect some type of breakout in this one. Like I said, it's testimony. We have 2 hours now for this one to kind of move top or bottom. I think that's probably a decent runner. Of the two, like I said, it is hitting kind of supply zones in both cases, but neither of them are fresh, and that's kind of what concerns me about it. I will say, as much weakness as we've seen in the dollar, I do kind of like this one to the downside. So let's see if there's a binary in there on a 2 hour basis for euro dollar, 10 to 12. Let's see. Let's see. That's 1894. I'm gonna say 1894. Let's see coordinates. Okay, so there's one there, and that's about $15 worth of risk. It's a bit more movement. Let's see. Currently, we need 18 pips to the downside. We can do it in 2 hours. Um, it's not bad. It's hmm, about $13 worth of risk. I think I like the call spread better. I mean, this is more profit in this one than the call spread. Let me see. What's a daily for that one? Euro. Let's see. Daily 3 p.m. We're not even close. Wow, they jacked that one. 7 to 3. Nope, those are jacked. Let me check out knockouts real quick. Euro yen for knockouts. It's 131.71. No, we don't have anything longs on that one. So, yeah, there's one binary and two call spreads there. They're all right. Eh. Yeah, I can't say I blame you. Prime rib stunt should definitely. Yeah, John, it was definitely not a melting in my mouth. It was definitely not a melting in my mouth. So yeah, so there's a couple of them in here. Like I said, I would expect some movement. I would expect some rollover. I guess the hard questions are going to be what the big things that we need. The talk is we still got a little bit of time before the talk. The talk today comes in what 10 minutes, so I wouldn't expect to see any movement based off of everything I'm seeing. Though, I mean, price is rallying up before the speech into an area of sellers here. Price is doing the same thing over here. They're both kind of doing the same thing. It's the only reason why it's kind of like, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, like even this one now, it's driving farther away. So let's see how cheap this call spread actually is now. See if it got even cheaper. Like I said, if it continues to go up before he speaks, that again, it's kind of going more into our favor here. Now it's $6. It's $6 worth of risk right now. So it'd be at 24. Yeah, it'd be at 24 now, right? Can I do no? Let's see. $6 worth of risk, right? Um, with any type of retracement, and that one would end. Actually, let me see. That would end at. Can I change the when it ends? Price bar number 2. No, I can. It's here. I just don't know how to. Oh, I can do it. Um, 11:30. Oh no, it's not this one. It's this one. 12 o'clock. There we go. Um, so yeah, kind of like a super cheap risk type trade there. So again, on a technical basis, they're all lining up for that. If they're super weak, saying that yeah, we're not going to raise interest rates till 2024 or something, that would obviously send this straight to the downside. He would need to say something though. And again, this is the type of, you know, on a fundamental basis, this is the type of setup that is there. Testimony from Parliament on our current ideas. So yeah, two decent setups there. Pound dollar again continuing to rise. As I mentioned before, I think this one has the ability to go higher. We're in an area we just actually pushed through. Where we're kind of right at the same level right now where the sellers are. There's a decent base here before kind of turning and rolling to the downside. Um, there's a bunch in this, right? I don't think anything is really earth shattering with this one. Let me see if I can get a better level for sells. Not really. Probably these are from last week. Let's move these. We wanted these to go down. We got our downward movement. We can keep that there. That there. Those two are fine. Um, let's use probably there. Like I said, I know it goes a little bit higher. That's probably going to be my next down shot. Let's go ahead and put back to our regular price label. Um, right, that level. And again, decent. I like how it came up and tested. There's another smaller one here, and I wouldn't be surprised actually if it does kind of roll off this level. And again, I'll turn this. This is kind of one of those ones. Just watch it. And again, it touched. It touched it. 10 o'clock at night. So was it the ideal opportunity? No. I continue to push lower. So just watch it. I like this one to roll. Again, if the dollar really kind of starts to kick over, though, that could be where our entry is. And then in the overnight, you can see it came down and touched an old level that we had looked at. This level's now been touched. One, two, yeah, technically three, and then four kind of broke through. So I'd be very cautious with a buy off of this level again. Um, I'd actually be looking to use this more as a target for profit, right? This would be more of a profit target. We'll change it to blue, right? There'd be more of a profit target to the downside. And again, if we can get a hit and a balance, then we can go long from it. But for the most part, I'm not going to take a one hit in. It's been hit four times and breathe through the backside of it just slightly. So show caution with that one. I think right now for the pound dollar, I think look for this one to rally up. We'll see if it can roll off this lower level at 139.42. But at 139.93, again, that's a short for me. I think that's a decent test and a punch back down. And it did do it right at the test of it was at 4 o'clock in the morning. So we had a European market in there that was driving that to the downside. So pretty decent move on that one. Dollar CAD is heading down. And again, makes sense. We had this big push up, really tried, really tried, really tried. And finally, again, the European session stepped in right at this peak, drove it straight down, and this is the same dollar weakness we've seen. It is getting to a level now where we have some bumps. You guys can see we missed the pullback on this one last Friday. Um, there are a few levels. I'll just take this one to make it easy. You can see that this is definitely a level of basing where it came up, peeked its head, came back in for protection, popped, and then kind of took off from it. It would be your downside target right now. Actually, your target would be just a little bit higher, but in the short, you should be looking to take profit. If we do base here, though, again, look for this as a break of 123.40. Look for that to pull all the way back down, and most likely profit taking down here into 122.70. That would be what about a 70 pip drop to the downside. That would be decent, particularly on an hourly. Let me see on a 30-minute if we can refine it at all. Yeah, we can refine it just a little bit. We're gonna pop it into there. That side is fine. Let's pull it down to there. Get a little bit of buyers there, but I'm not as worried about that. Let's see what that short looks like. Yeah, before we take profits, a 1 to 3.4. 1 to 3 is sitting right there. All right, so I think that's decent. Look for a Harry Potter drop to the downside on that one. We don't need a lot of these profits from last week. That one blew through. It was profitable. Um, yeah, I'll use that. Unlock it. Let's pull all. Whoops. It's this that I wanted to move. Unlock. There we go. Right across. There. All right, so we're good. lock this one down. Yeah, so a break of 123.41. Look for that one to continue to push down, and that eventual profit target would be down here at 122.81. Dollar Swiss. Come on, dollar Swiss click. This one is high, and again, this one we haven't quite seen the dollar weakness yet. It's been more of a Swiss weakness story thus far, but there's really no, again, we're kind of breaching into this top pink area here, and every time it does, it kind of gets turned around. Uh, Problem with this one is we do have buyers, established in this level. We're seeing dollar weakness everywhere, and we're starting to finally see dollar weakness now, but it hasn't had quite the range. And again, once it broke through that range, it's only dropped about 20 pips. And you guys can see here, we have buyers, right? Stabilization, touched it, touched it, touched it, and took off. Now, is it fresh? No, but there is another small level right below it and another level right below it as well. So overall, I would say, if we can base in this level, there is potentially a short. And again, here's the next true area of buyers. I think that becomes profit target number one, which should be down here based off of this short. And I think the second level we need to watch out and make sure that we are out buy on shorts are all the way down to here. Okay. Right down there. So, and it would look something along, let me put it here so it doesn't get in the way. Something along those lines. It's a break at 91.63. And again, you can set it a number of different ways, particularly if it comes down in bases. If it hits and goes higher, no harm, no foul. We didn't get in. We're looking for the break, the pullback, and the pullback will probably occur based off of hitting 91.49. Is probably where the bounce will occur. So two different areas there. They're decent. I mean, it's, nothing earth shattering. It's about 36 in the first one. And then again, profit target two would be another 33 to the downside. And you can play them all the same way, the base and the break, the pullback, Harry Potter, base, pullback, Harry Potter, back to the downside. And then below this one, again, obviously we got a big push all the way back down to this level. And again, this is a real nice size racetrack. And you can see how much movement that is. That's going to be it's an 80 pip racetrack to the downside with a lot of dollar weakness. And remember, this is all we're raising interest rates news. Now we just have to wait for it to happen. So could we see this roll? Yeah, absolutely. And again, we'll start to see data and recovery coming out of the Swiss, which will also bring them strength and pull it back down. Now, dollar yen. Dollar yen's going up, right? Everywhere else, dollar getting slaughtered. Again, the yen just is a lot weaker. You can see it ended up coming off the same level. We wouldn't be taking a short or anything like from that, but you can see base, touch, 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 came through, pulled back, touched it again, touch, then we hit it again. So we're going to remove that. That was the extreme of kind of the smaller intraday level. I would say right now, really, a lot of these were from last week. Let's just move those. Let's steal. I'm going to put that there. That's going to be a short if we get that low. I'll use this up top. Let's pull this in. I'm going to use that level for my next area of shorts. Okay. I like the way that this hit it, and then boom, collapsed. So 110.72, we got to keep on the radar for shorts. And again, it is in the pink range, so it is in a potential sell area. We'll throw short. 1 to 3 is sitting right there. Okay. So I'm good with that. I think that's fine. Any type of bounce, right? I think we will have a rollover on that one. We got a little bit more room to run. And again, we've seen dollar weakness everywhere except versus this. That will be the catalyst when the dollar finally kicks back in for these profits. That will be the catalyst for this to continue to push up. Okay. All right. So let's go over and look at oil. Well, there we go. There's our little big scenario. And this is something we mentioned earlier today with the whole Iranian situation, right? That there's probably going to be some movement. But if you guys remember me saying, let's see. It's this way. Right there. Like I said, whenever you get that Iranian data, we were pulling down into it. We talked about there being a buy there. Again, we're looking for a short, but we were unable to really kind of get that pullback. It looks like the U.S. trader said, wait, Iran? We're having problems with Iran? And that sent this thing off to the races. I was hoping we get down lower. I was really looking for the bounce lower. I thought that would have been a much better level down here. And I'll mark it. I still think that that's a decent level to go long from. But again, hitting a level right at the time when the U.S. market opened, that gave us the move. The U.S. trader saw that news and said, bam, we're going higher. And I said, overall, I think that's great. So we can remove both these. We've cleared them. Let's keep that long. We're at ranges now. And again, there are sellers sitting right here. right? There is an area of sellers sitting right here, right? We know sellers have stepped in to shut that down. So the question is, can we get through, or are we in the mood for a parabolic retracement on the day? The only thing that kind of makes this one a little bit harder is, again, the Iranian situation does, again, mess with the oil scenario. Let me see. I'm looking. Let me see. Crude. That's at 70. Where are we at? 78. I'm sorry. 72.80. Man, there's nothing close. Not for those. Let's check these. They're doing them the 50%, the 50 mark. All right. So there is a crude oil contract, right? A 72. Do I want the 72.25? No, no, I don't want the 72.25. Oh no, I do want the 72.25. Huh. It's funny. So this spike has this up at 72.87. The Nadex spike has it right now at 72, and this is not delayed data, which is funny, right? This is showing us at 72.90. Nadex is showing us at 72.46 for crude oil. It's quite a bit of difference in arbitrage there, Nadex. Hmm. Let me investigate this just a second farther here. Um, I wonder if it's because it's oil. Yeah, that's a big difference. It shouldn't be that big. Shouldn't be that big. The candles are exactly the same, right? It's the exact same candles, but price is obviously in a different region. Hmm. Funny, funny, funny how that works out. But yeah, I'd be looking for. I would say, again, as soon as we get a top on this one, look for this to turn and roll. Um, like I said, there's a the crude oil contract up there that's not horrible. 71. Gold. I'm sorry, crude oil. Can we get a pop down? Let me see. 71. That's pretty funny. So if you look at the contracts, right? If you look at the risk, technically right now it says that the indicative. So funny. It says the indicative is, yeah, they're having a charting issue because they're saying the indicative is 72.55. Oh, that's a 71. That's why. Never mind. Let me see if it matches up over here. No, it's still a little bit off. Yeah, I think they're having some data issues or delayed data. I guess it's different contracts. It has to be the contracts. Yeah, this is why I hate futures. Yeah, if it pauses here, I'd like to short this one. I'm trying to find a good contract on it though. Unfortunately, like the premium is like spiking right now. It's so funny. So the indicative value is 72.50, right? The indicative value is 72.50. I can short it right now. I can short the 72 and it has $19 worth of risk. I'm kind of surprised by that. I feel like they're having an issue. I feel like they're having some confusion. Yes. I feel like they're having some issues. Not my problem. Um, Anyway, yeah, I would look for this to roll back to the downside again. This is the emotional response, most likely from. Let me see if we got anything else, but I highly doubt there's anything in there. Europe, well, there's taping debate is open. Have to be ready for upside inflation risk. Yeah, I got it. Fed dot plots dramatically improved outlook. Yeah, none of these. Um, that wouldn't have done it. 30 year. Now there's nothing over here really that it's like, oh my god, oil. So it's the Iranian thing, and again, you're seeing the pound continue to rise on those two. So yeah, I would say again, look for this one to turn and roll back to the downside. This is a pretty big move. Whether it's a full, I doubt it'll be a full retrace. It'll probably be something like this, back to like a 50% mark on there. But it was a decent pullback. Gold, again, this is how I know it's not a whole lot. Look at gold, right? You look at this news and they're talking about tapering and inflation, like the upside inflation risks. Gold is not having any of it, so it's an Iranian play, is what it is, and it's pulled back. I would say again, we talked about getting long from the 1770 range. It's kind of bogged in. You can see that on a smaller level, we could form a box down here and say, hey, listen, you know, there is there's what we have. You know, I would say we're boxed in, right? Any type of major inflation news to the top side, though, I do think we will be able to blow through this one. It's kind of at the lower range, and again, we should be thinking bullish more than anything else on gold right now. And again, if you want to take the larger one at 1770, it's been decent. You're up, what, $8 on it or whatever. Is it 1778? It was a high around 1785, and that was around the European Open. And again, there's nothing to justify it. It should go higher. Silver is even worse, right? If you guys looking at silver, we've been trying to find where we put this next bottom in at, but we're back at 25.90. I mean, remember it's supposed to be at $100, right? According to Reddit, but we're at 25.90 now. And again, all the analysis it maintained this forever, and now we're back down into this range, right? Um, a lot of this we would have to kind of extend across and talk about where buyers are coming in. There's the 2450. You can see it got down to 2451 and 2449. It was super close to a bounce there. Um, got another level that's somewhat decent there. Probably want to extend. I'll take this one across and we'll steal this now. Really, probably there. I don't need this one. That's an old one. I'll extend this, but I'll leave that. This is what happens when the Fed's like, yep, we're not going to do crap. We don't see any inflation in the economy right now. It's like, really? And again, we finally cleared that channel, so let's remove this. We'll remove these to clean this up a bit. We don't need that one. These knockouts are gone. Let's leave this up top still. We're going to leave that one. That was a good area of interest level. This one would now become a red on this side. Let's bring this up top. Adjust that across. We're good there. We'll put longs in here. Let me check to see, make sure there's nothing that. All right, let me extend this across. Hold on. It's easiest to do this way. Let's unlock it. Let's bring it here, and we'll adjust this up. Lock that one down. Go back to a 30-minute. 30-minute. All right, so you can see. So 2450, we missed it by, actually it's coming in at 24.59. So I missed it by 2 cents. Okay, 2 pennies. But you can see, is there really a trend on the 30-minute? Not really, right? I mean, here's where we were Friday. We're kind of in that same area. It took one to stem down into the green area, missed the entry, kind of came back up, and we're holding still. So hopefully some of the comments, and again, I think tomorrow, I think we could get some movement, but again, until the Fed really starts saying, yeah, inflation is starting to become out of hand, this one will be a little bit slow. But yeah, 25.50, right? It's amazing we're back down at 25.50. Let's look at the indices. That looks like the NQ is positive again. We talked about this one punching through, and you can see it came down at 9:30. It grabbed that little level, and we talked about trading this one on a 15-minute. I'm sure many of you guys were able to get this one long. 9:30, we pulled right into that level of basing on the 15-minute chart, punched through, and again, we talked about getting up to 1490. So it's been an hour, less than an hour, and you guys should have been out on your profit target with your 10 points. Um, you know, not surprised by that. Again, I would use this level if we get a little bit of a base and a pullback. That could be also a takeoff point. I don't think we'll really hit. Lock that down. I don't think we'll hit much in the way of sellers until we get probably up in this range. So we do have more room to run today. probably up there. The 42.21 is the next time we really got to get cautious. But again, nice opening trade for today. Hopefully you guys were able to grab that. We covered that one in the Natick session this morning. NQ. NQ kind of whipped through and came back. I mean, this one got pretty volatile in the 9:30 to 10 o'clock time frame. Um, Again, whipped through, came back, and whipped again. So it's kind of odd. NQ wants to be the weak guy today. I would say that NQ again looks more lined up that it wants to come back and test those levels. But I mentioned earlier that really the two cleans we had were 14,198 right here and 13,990. Anything in the middle is kind of this no man's land. And again, some sellers here. It took a decent balance, but it's been quite choppy. I would say, the NQ is not the ideal indice right now between these two. Wait for it to come up high or low, and I think either of those two. And even if we wanted to draw kind of that intraday, where is it? You want to draw something along these lines, right? Just to get a better idea of where the bullish and bearish is going to be. You can see we're just kind of skirting through the middle, and there's not, right? Area of interest came below, came back up, touched the top of it again, and then it's just chopped. So, um, not a lot in this one, right? Not a lot, unfortunately, in this one we can do. YM, there's your break above. We talked about a break of 133.45, going up to 33.746. It's well on its way, right? It's well on its way at this point. We are at, yeah, that's where we talked about it. Let's see, long position. I mean, you're over 2 to 1 at this point. 2 to 1 was sitting right there. So you're well over 2 to 1. Stop losses at break even, and you could have refined this level a little bit. I mean, I guess in reality, you could have done it there off the 15, right? I guess I didn't love it, and then right now you're at 2.5, 2.8. So it's off to the races. But yeah, I was looking for the break of 33,479. I think we get up to that 33,746 today. I think if we hold this 1030, we don't have people stepping in. Real, I guess we do have some sellers stepping in this level, right? So 33,713 ish area. I think that's a decent, that'd be a decent capture of this morning. I mean, at this point, you're not losing any money on this one, but that's 257 up to the top side. After Friday, I think that's a valid target. So I don't think we should have any problems reaching that one. I think you're good there. Oil, man, is continuing to go. We got to keep adjusting this one. So look at that. It punched through the top. It's having some issues, though. It is starting to pull back a little bit. I'm wondering if it's going to be running out of steam now. Again, we are pushing that 1030, but how about that for another little big day? 9, it's supposed to be 8:30. 8:30, 4:30, 8:30. Actually, it should be 3 right there. So, yeah, look at that. Another little big day. Little big, little big, little big. Good stuff. All right, so that's it for today. We're about a minute early here. Let me go ahead and do our stream elements here. Let's pull in our ticket, our drawing for the day. Go right there. All right. Got it. All right, so I'll give you guys about another minute to get in. Catch up on chat here. Ticket. What is this notification? No, I don't need that one. What? Oh, I was like, what is this? Oh, I got a hat. What? Get some weird notifications from Twitch sometimes. All right, so I'll go ahead and shut it down. Let's see who the winner of today's June 21st. I cannot believe it's 21st. Let's see who the winner of today's drawing is. And it will be Wealth Build. What? When did Wealth Builder sneak in? Oh, Wealth Builder went big today. He's like, I'm going heavy today. Look at that. Wealth Builder, Wealth Builder, Wealth Builder. He's just going to take it. Let's see. You get your 25 chips for today. Where's the leaderboard? Wealth Builder. But that was the thing. So let's see. You got one. So it cost you 40 pip chips today to make 25. Right? 40 to make 25. It would not have subscribed for me if it Earth had won. Yeah. But you had a 35% chance of winning. No, it wouldn't have been Ernest. It would have been Marina. Marina or Debbie. They went in with one, so they would have taken it today. The girls have been dominating the Wednesdays, the 50 pip chip one. They just been dominating. I think they've won it the last 3 weeks in a row. One of the two of them. Yeah, no. He went for high risk today. Wonder if my tickets even. I don't know. Will would have been a crime otherwise. Yeah, it happens though. Again, 35% chance is not guaranteed. There's more of a chance that you're not going to win. Granted, you have more of a chance than anybody else there to win, right? So again, it's that fun statistics. Yeah, look at this. It's starting to run out of some steam up top. So yeah, I'd be looking for something short there. I don't want to see if the euro's moving yet. I guess he's been talking for 15 minutes. Not yet. Look, it's holding. It's like, oh, it's holding. Look at that. It's set. It is set up for a short on both. It's going to be waiting for one of these questions. See where the explosion is coming from. So yeah, I wish this was a fresh level. I'd have been all over this one, but it's not bad. $6 risk on that one, and it's already pretty close. So. All right. With that said, I will see everybody tomorrow. If you guys need anything, I am around. I do have the boys here today, so I do have. I am in front of the computer a lot more. I'm glad that their schooling is done. That they are rising. I guess I forget. I guess they're rising sixth graders now. They are going to middle school, but I have babysitters again, so I can spend more time at the computer in front of the charts. Woohoo! So, risk to reward. All right, guys. I will catch you tomorrow. If you need anything, message me on Discord. And again, I like the way this is setting up, particularly with again, some of these talks and people talk about inflation risk and again, raising interest rates. I love how weak the dollar is right now that we're seeing across the board, and I think this is providing some good opportunity to go into tomorrow. So, pretty excited for it. But you guys take care. Have a good one. If you need anything, shoot me a message.